You say about the activity here?
It was wickedly haunted.
Whoa. The breath pod's going off. Thank you so much. Quartz, which is what I put in my energy pumps. You're here still? Excellent, thank you.
Definitely wickedly haunted. Creep factor, like an 11. Paranormal activity, evidence factor, a 10. It's going to be an awesome episode if you like evidence. Awesome episode if you like creepy locations. And this one had it all. The Burlington County Prison.
10 years ago, we lived through some of the most intense paranormal activity imaginable. That led us to research haunted locations to capture evidence proving the existence of supernatural beings.
Okay, full caution. You're gonna leave tonight.
And help our families being tormented as we once were.
Kids alone too.
And what we discovered is that the South Coast is wickedly haunted.
That was incredible. That's what I'm talking about. That's proof.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome to Wickedly Haunted.
I'm Todd.
And I'm Marissa.
Sorry, I got a little bit confused. We were switching things up tonight. It's been a rough start to the evening. We had some camera issues, and Marissa and I wanted the show to be on a little bit later because we feel that people that are into this sort of thing tend to be night owls. So Mike was kind enough to let us try producing the show ourselves so we could have it on later for you. Tonight is part 1 of our investigation of the Burlington County Prison in Mount Holly, New Jersey, a place that is 210 years old, yet it just closed in 1965, which is not that long ago. They turned it into a museum that you can tour during the day, although after Marissa and I were there at night, I don't know that I would want to be there during the day unless you're into spirits and paranormal things, because there are quite a number of inmates that walked in those doors that never left the building at all. So we hope that you like the later show, and we know that you're going to love the Burlington County Prison. We're probably going to do, I don't even know, 3 or 4 episodes on this. We have so much evidence, like mountains of evidence from this place, and we have a lot to show you tonight. But before we get into the videos, I just want to mention, as always, that our favorite thing in the world to do is to help people experiencing paranormal activity, strange phenomena. You're not sure in their home, their business, whatever. Whether you just need validation because you feel like you're going crazy, okay, maybe these things happen at home. They don't happen outside the home, but still, Marissa and I have been through this. Mm-hmm. We still go through it. We're streaming from a haunted home right now. But we lived in another one that was extremely haunted, extremely negative, and that went on for a long time. So we know how you feel, and we can never find help. Never find help. So we are out there to help. As Marissa always says, you are not putting us out. And to get that help, what you want to do is go to our website, relativelyparanormal.com, like the second page down. Is a booking form. Just put in general information, name, email, phone number, however you want us to contact you. If you want to put a couple tidbits in there about what's going on, great. We will get back to you as soon as possible, usually that day, sometime in minutes, sometimes in an hour or two. As soon as we see it, we'll get back to you, trust me, especially when there's families involved.
Of course.
Okay? So like we say in the beginning, and help out families being tormented as we once were. But even if you're not tormented, you're just curious about what's going on in the home, we're there to help.
Yeah, absolutely. No charge. So just send us an email and we'll definitely give you a call or send you an email back.
Now, you can also email us at relativelyparanormal@gmail.com. That is our email. You can send us a line through that. The webpage goes through the email, though. So, listen, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. And I just want to also mention that please post your comments and your questions during the show. Now, please just keep an open mind. Keep it positive. We're here to have fun. We're here to educate about the paranormal, entertain, and offer help to people that need it. Okay? We're going to play some awesome evidence videos for you. But if you have some questions about the equipment, the paranormal investigation, something you saw or heard, if you think that we missed something evidence-wise, please point it out. Listen, we can't catch everything. And just even if you want to just let us know where you're watching from, we appreciate all the views and all the support. We love it because we love doing the show. It's a blast. And you can also check out previous episodes of Wickedly Haunted on the New Bedford Guide Facebook page. There's a playlist there. And on our website, it has 3 video players. We have regular investigations on there, like a Ghost Adventures format. We have every episode of Wickedly Haunted. There's like 26 of them. We have awesome, like quick, like if you like your bite-sized paranormal evidence, we have those on there. We have a photo album with 200 pictures that mostly Marissa took of insane things we found over the years. And all that stuff is right on there for you to check out. And then Marissa's just going to give you a lowdown on social media real quick. And I'll get us into the first video.
Well, you can also view our videos on YouTube, on our Facebook page, on TikTok, and it's all relatively paranormal.
We like to keep it simple, all relatively paranormal. So please post your questions and comments. What we're going to do is we're going to play the video, and then right after the video, we're going to give you a quick breakdown of what you saw, of what was on there evidence-wise, and maybe related to something paranormal, and then we'll take your questions and comments. So let's watch the first video. First prisoners stepped foot in the Burlington County Prison in 1811. This prison remained in operation until 1965. Most of the building still looks today as it did the day its doors first opened. That fact, coupled with all the horrific act of violence that occurred in here over the 210-year history of this prison, are what often lead to a haunting. County executions were held here until 1905, and often the prisoners, instead of having their necks snapped and dying instantly, would strangle to death over the course of 15 minutes. They were held in a cell that still exists today called the Death Row Dungeon, where they were kept locked down 24 hours a day until they were finally let out the back door into the courtyard and hung to death from the gallows. We were granted private access to the prison for our 6-hour lockdown investigation, where we would be the only 2 people inside the walls of the Burlington County Prison. Well, at least the only people that were alive, that is. I rewatched this B-roll clip of the front of the prison and me running up the steps right after I took it. I was astonished to see that something or someone was actually looking back at me through the peephole in this door. A door that is original to the prison since the first day it opened. I couldn't believe what I was looking at, and this peephole is something that Marissa and I had looked through when we first arrived from both sides of this door, as we were intrigued by the history of the building and fascinated by the huge, heavy door itself. I cannot believe that something was staring back at me, and I'm just glad it was staying in the prison and not coming with us. We decided to start our investigation on the 2nd floor due to the fact that that's where the Death Row Dungeon cell is, and we figured that's where the most activity may be. As I walk you through our setup, the map on the right shows you where each location is by the red arrow.
Marissa is holding a full spectrum camera. Right now we have a lot of different devices set up. We have a REM pod over here that goes off by touching it like that. We have a phonetic generator, which is a word bank that spirits can tap into to speak to us. We have an EMF meter over there. That's slot 0.2, 0.3. See something? Whoa! The REM pod go off. Go off. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we have our vortex spirit box that is not on yet. The flashlight went off or something?
Yeah, the flashlight went on and off.
It is?
There's a lot of communication with the flashlight, yeah.
Still?
It stopped like
Yeah, because that moved. Can you hold that for a second?
Yeah.
And then the flashlight, what we try to do is to get spirits to manipulate this. Can you turn that off? If you're here still? Excellent, thank you. See, we're trying to prove that you exist to the world. We're also trying to give you a voice, hear your story, whether you're guilty or innocent. Quartz, which is what I put in my energy pumps. We also have our VTU 3D mapping camera right here. I'm gonna have to turn on my flashlight here. We have cameras out here. We have a camera right here. We have an awesome laser grid right here. And then it also has a shadow detector that when blocked, it makes a noise, we can hear it. And we also have a motion detector down there that if a spirit walks in front of it, it will go off. And then down this cell block down here, we have another cell right here. Real creepy. And we have the death row cell, the dungeon. Okay, as you can see right here, the dungeon, real creepy. And then down the hallway, we also have another cell kind of set up like a museum of sorts. And then we have the women's wing. And we just finished setting up and we're about to get this investigation underway.
All right, so what you saw there was a quick outline of the prison itself, and we started on the uppermost floor, as you just heard, because we figured that would be a best opportunity to get lots of activity. Mm-hmm. Now, the activity wasted no time in starting there, as usual, right off the bat. We actually have a new rule now where Marissa and I are going to set up cameras first and not put out any equipment because it'll take us 2 hours to set up. It took us like 2 hours to set up here. We had 6 hours to investigate. I mean, I shouldn't say it like that because we investigate. The point is it took 2 hours to set up because we stop every time something goes off and try to communicate with the spirits.
Right.
When you're investigating the paranormal, you don't know how much activity is going to happen, when it's going to come, and when it's going to stop. So you get an opportunity to interact with the dead, you take it. And we try to interact with them, as you just saw, through all of our devices. Now, this episode, we focused on our FLIR thermal camera and the EVPs that we captured. EVPs, if you're not familiar with the term, is electronic voice phenomenon. What that is, are spirit voices captured on our digital media that Marissa and I do not hear at the time. We do not hear them till review. But they are out of the ether. It is not a spirit box. It is not an app. It is a dead person's voice captured on digital media, which is pretty funky if you ask me.
Yeah, I always get excited when we hear them. There's also disembodied voices that we will actually hear during the investigation, and those are pretty awesome too. It just almost sounds like there's somebody like maybe whispering in your ear. You just hear it.
Well, at this joint, as you'll see over the course of the 3 or 4 episodes we do, there's disembodied voices that we don't even hear.
Yeah, right.
We had literally probably 8 or 9 cameras in use all over that whole cell block, which is fairly large. So, you know, if there's equipment going off and whatnot, and somebody yells near another camera, we may not hear it. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate between the two. If we don't hear it, sometimes the EVP just sounds so dang good that you think it's a disembodied voice. I mean, really. So it looks like we do have a question here, or a comment, actually. Let me put that up there if it stops running away from me. Okay. Oh, it's from my buddy Shane. Shane is another paranormal investigator that we know from the Mid-Atlantic Paranormal Project. Shane, awesome guy. He actually has a sweet Facebook page called Paranormal Equipment and Gadgets, where he talks a lot about different equipment that you can use for ghost hunting, different hacks, stuff like that. A lot of useful stuff. Yeah. He actually owns one of my power plant energy devices that he loves. He's told me himself. I'm not just making that up for him. He can comment back if I'm lying. I don't think I am. And we're going to have Shane on the show as kind of like a guest host in the near future, so you can get the perspective of somebody else who does this as well regarding our evidence. And if Shane wants to bring a couple of his sweet pieces of evidence, we'd love to see evidence of the paranormal. Of course. We'd love to see evidence of paranormal. Absolutely. So just remember, as we get into the next video here, please post any questions or comments you have. I just want to mention real quick that the FLIR thermal camera, Marissa, why don't you tell them how it works?
Oh, the flare.
Yes.
All right. So the flare, we will actually, point it just in front of us, but we have to try to keep our hand very, very still. And it's
Says I do.
Oh,
Shane says I
great.
do. My boy.
And it will change colors, so it detects temperature, more or less. Yeah, it does. So it will turn like a different
That's all
color.
it does. It's
It will turn like a purplish color if we see like something cold, so like a spirit, or if the temperature changes at all. And it will turn more of like a reddish pink, orange color for something that's warm or hot.
Shane said it's
so-
cool to hear the EVPs. He said that's why we do this.
Oh yes.
It's far more impressive, even though the spirit box that we have, the Vortex, another invention of ours, works fantabulous. It's more impressive to just hear a voice out of the ether. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
So I wanted to throw that up there.
So when you see from the FLIR, when you see like the dark purple, bluish, apparitions or figures that you can see on the screen in just a moment, those are spirits, because they'll appear and they'll disappear.
Listen, we're very discriminating about this. That's why we rarely show it on the show. We might have shown the FLIR thermal camera a handful of times in the year that we've owned it, because it's rare to catch something on it. It's hard to differentiate sometimes about what's there and what's not. Most of the time, the screen is an orangish yellow color, and you can tell when it's like a window or a door and something cold like that.
Right. And we try to
Okay.
do like a base temperature at the beginning of an investigation, just to find out like what the temperature is in each room that we're going to be investigating.
You can easily tell, though, and in this episode, you're going to see an area that we had a laser grid on, where it was orange the whole time, and you're going to see it in a few minutes. And what happens is insane, absolutely insane. I do actually go through, what's going on as it's going on. I had to break it down and kind of cut our voice out of it.
Yeah.
Because it was just so crazy. And if you haven't looked through one before, it's hard to understand. And you got to understand, we're in the pitch black, and that is the only thing that we are looking at. The only thing that we are looking at. So let's get into the next video. And you guys can check that out. And when we get back, please post your questions and comments so that we can answer those. And we love it when it's more interactive. It's more fun that way. Cool. Let's roll it. Keep your eye on the arrow, as you're about to see several replays of a face manifesting of an entity in this building. We're going to take a walk down here real quick. Why don't we take a thermal sweep real quick? Dude, it looks like somebody's standing right down there at the end of the hallway.
I did the same thing. I thought it looked like a little girl almost.
No, this looks like a woman as tall as the doorway. Is somebody down here? Oh, it's a window. Okay, it's a window. I have no clue where I am. Is this Joel's cell? Joel, are you in here? Can you show yourself to me?
Oh my God, Todd, look at this. You did take a photo for me. Check this out. Where are you?
Right here.
Look. Look at this.
Are there any spirits down here that would like to make themselves known? I have a camera that can see you. Is this your cell? Whoa. Can someone bang on something? So I know if you're down here? Is this your cell block down here?
Was that just a bang? What did I just say?
Malice.
The malice?
No, malice.
The malice?
Yeah.
You feel the malice in here? You were?
Joel, is that you again?
Were you mistreated in here?
What you're about to see is one of the craziest spirit interactions we've ever had through our FLIR thermal imaging camera. Notice now how the entire area that I'm shooting where that laser grid is set up is all orange and yellow with just some purple back in the back. Purple means cold, yellow and red mean hot. Notice how as I'm aiming it down now, the area got a little bit purple. Wait till you see what's about to happen with that entire cell block.
You want to hear your own voice? Yep, that's what it is. So I need that. The hell was that? Is that you? No. Right in front of me. It looks like somebody's right in front of me. I don't know if they are or not. Yeah, right there. I don't know if that's somebody in front of me or not. Can you move your face closer to this camera right here?
Looks like something's moving. Yeah, you see that? Something is moving closer to you.
Oh, somebody just peeked out.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody peeked out of that cell back there. You can come out. Can you come out of your cell down there?
Yeah, they did.
You have to hide in there. Oh, totally did. You can come on out.
Walk towards us.
I'm gonna go down there.
No, they're walking towards you. Look. You can see the blues getting bigger and bigger. Walking slowly. They're coming, look. You see it?
If you look closely to that same area in the back of this hallway, it actually looks like a head is peeking out of the cell, and it actually looks like it's come out even farther. That purplish area back there that keeps expanding is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's tough to again to differentiate, but again, it was orange and yellow the whole time. There was two cell doors on the right hand side there, and it looked like, honestly, like a head was peeking out of the last doorway. I paused it on one of those sections, which obviously I can't do on live TV, and you can see a face there. Okay, so if you go back and when we put this on replay and you want to blow it up and pause it, I guarantee you will see a head sticking out of that doorway down there. But that is nothing compared to what we're about to show you. Absolutely nothing to the next FLIR video. That is just a warm-up where I wanted you guys to see the orange,
How it works.
see what it looked like when something kind of creeps out of one of those two cell doors. And what you're about to see is something we have never seen before on a FLIR thermal camera. It blew me away when I saw it in a review. And here's the funny part, is I gave Marissa the FLIR camera. I went into another room to prepare for a spirit communication session with our spirit box. And poor Marissa's screaming at me to come out and look at what you're about to see. And I'm like, oh, I'll be out there in a minute. Because I thought it was what we had just saw, which was still cool, but nothing compared to what you're about to see.
There may not be a whole minute. Get over here.
And then the poor thing thought that the FLIR camera wasn't recording.
Oh, yeah.
Which we have happened from time to time when you have 9 cameras going, you're in the pitch black, activities popping off all around you, and things happen. Sometimes the microphone gets unplugged. It doesn't get turned on. It's just Marissa and I doing this. There's no camera crew there.
Mm-mm.
There's no producers. There's nobody lugging equipment.
Right. We are the equipment carriers. We are the producers. We are the on-screen talent. We are.
Listen, we love it. We enjoy doing it.
We do it all. So there's nobody else there. The place was empty. I'm just mentioning that because those bangs were
incredible.
pretty intense. They were right next to us, like right next to us. There's nobody else in that building. It was just Todd and I.
And it's not the heaters. Trust me, it was the first thing I looked at. Next week, I'm going to show another video where the bangs actually started. And it was the first thing I looked at. They actually start communicating with us through the bangs. It banged on the wall right next to my head. Listen, I'm not stupid. I can tell where bangs are coming from. I know what a heater sounds like.
Well, you asked, can you bang?
Yeah, I had them bang double. I had them doing shaving a haircut. Like, I just didn't have time to put all of it on there. And we only have so much time for each episode as well. So,
right.
But the bangs were absolutely phenomenal, and they get even crazier. Before we show this last flare video, it looks like there are some questions and comments, so we're going to get into those. All right. It looks like, all right. Can you read them, Marissa? I'm old and don't have my glasses on, so it's hard for me to read. It looks like Kevin. Oh, hold on. I'll put them on the screen for you. There they go. Hey.
Oh, yeah. So Kevin says hi. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for messaging. Cindy Sylvester says hi.
Hi, Cindy. Thank you for watching.
Thanks so much.
What does this say? Oh, somebody wrote something that's not so nice. Okay. Somebody's swearing on it. Listen, please, just keep an open mind and keep it positive. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, we lived in a haunted home. These things exist. We share our experiences with you to we're hoping that through all this evidence that we show that we end the stigma involved with this. So that people,
well, you know what? Why don't you just throw that up there?
So that, well, no, I can't put that.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
swore.
Well,
so the thing is that people feel when they're going through this, like they're going crazy. They're embarrassed to talk about it. When we lived through our first haunting, we were skeptics when we moved into the house. So many things happened. I was held down in bed. We would hear voices, footsteps banging on the walls. Stuff would go flying across the room right in front of us. We saw shadow figures, apparitions, TVs and electronics that we owned before we moved in and owned after that never turned on and off by themselves at other places, only did it there. We have OCD. Your keys and stuff would go in a basket next to the door. We had a shelf for the basket. You'd come back 5 minutes later, they'd be gone. Okay. One time I cashed a paycheck that was quite sizable, and I came home and I threw the notebook that I had, my keys, my pen. I was rushing out the door and I threw that wallet in the middle of our queen size bed, in the middle of it. I ate a sandwich. I changed my clothes. I went to pick up Marissa at her mother's house, and I came back and everything was on the bed in the same spot except for my wallet. Okay. I looked everywhere for it. I thought somebody had broken into the house, stolen my wallet, and was hiding and waiting for me to leave to take off with my paycheck. Okay, I searched the house with a baseball bat. I finally decided to look underneath the bed, and that wallet was directly under the bed, flipped up on its side, okay, like it fell through the bed, twisted in midair, and landed on its side. And when I say on its side, I mean it was sitting underneath the bed like this, okay? Wallets don't roll. They don't roll off a queen-size bed 5 feet, fall off the edge of the bed. And when I say it's in the same spot, it was 5 feet under the bed in the middle of it. It evaporated and went under there, okay? These are things that would happen to us, okay? So if you want to watch the show and you're a skeptic and you want to see something that maybe will make you a believer, awesome. If you want to watch the show and hate on it in your own apartment, sweet. Don't put swears up on the comments. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because I'll tell you what, I'll put your comments up there, and I'm an extremely educated person with 2 college degrees, and you don't want to get into a debate with me about really too much. So
but you're welcome.
Don't do it.
You're welcome to come investigate with us.
Yeah, listen.
More than welcome
who is
to.
it?
So we got Brian Dussault.
All right, so Brian Dussault.
Doesn't see shit.
Okay. Oh, Brian, would you like to come investigate with us? We'll take you to some pretty nice places. If you last more than half an hour without running out, I'd be surprised. But if you want to come investigate, we'll show you some stuff. Okay. You want to debunk stuff? Go ahead, try. I have every piece of video. I have mountains of video and audio on that computer over there. Prove you wrong. Okay.
Well, you know what? Wait a second. Maybe he can explain the next video. Just play the next video.
Hold on. Wait, there's some other ones of normal people. Oh, Shane said what? I hate it when cameras turn off. Yeah. Shane's an investigator. He understands. Let's see. Manny. Yeah. Okay, Manny Furtado says, I was a skeptic. If they ever get a chance to go to a location, I'm sure they will change their mind. Listen, I'm fine with skepticism. I'm fine with all of it, but don't swear at me. That's just retarded. That's ridiculous. And then Paul says, what? Just show the video, please. Okay, Paul. It is, Paul, it's a talk show too, bud. Okay? It's a talk show too. We talk about the paranormal. We don't just show videos. Okay? If you want to watch videos, come over to the house. I'll show you 8,000 of them. Okay? But we got to talk about the paranormal too. And somebody's swearing at me on the thing. Not cool. So I'm going to respond. That's the way it goes. I was polite about it. I invited the guy on a paranormal investigation. Sweet. Video. Some other guy said video. All right, listen. I like the videos too. Listen, we're the ones who took them. All right. We're going to roll the last video. Check it out. Hope you like it. Maybe you'll see some shit sometime. This time, whatever that clown's name was. I've now handed the FLIR thermal camera off to Marissa and gone in the other room to prepare for an EVP session with the spirits. I had no idea what was about to happen, that she was about to capture some of the most amazing FLIR thermal footage I've ever seen. Pay special attention to the dark purple areas that are about to appear, almost as if they're coming out of the 2 cell doors on the right-hand side. You are about to get blown away by some of the craziest footage I've ever seen on a FLIR thermal camera. And let us know what they did to you, how they killed you. If you have a message about life and death, you yell it into that red light right there. That's fear, huh? Hey, thank you.
Hi. Todd, walk slowly over here. I gotta show you this.
Yep.
That's a man's face with his hand in front of the camera. Do you see it now? His face, his eyes, his hand. Do you see it? Thank you for that knock. You guys standing right here in front of me? It's freezing right here too. It's so cold, so I know they're right here. This is amazing. I can actually make out their faces. There's 2 of them. They're standing right here in front of me, and I'm so cold over here.
As Marissa saw this live, and I reviewed it the other day, I was stunned to see colors on the FLIR that I had never seen before, like the green inside the very dark purple over towards the middle of the screen. If you look closely, you can make out the shapes of 2 heads there, right near the front of the FLIR that Marissa is holding. It looked like it came out of the cell on the right-hand side of the screen. I've never seen anything like this on a FLIR thermal camera before. And remember, just moments ago, the screen was bright orange and yellow with heat, just like it's flashing to occasionally. Now you can clearly see that there are 2 entities on the screen, one on the left, one on the right. It is absolutely amazing. Marissa was just screaming into the camera that she could see both of them and that she was freezing cold. If you look close, it looks like they're coming in and out of that cell on the right-hand side and coming right up to the camera and then backing off as if they're shy or scared or maybe think that the equipment is going to hurt them. I'm not sure. But again, I've never seen anything like this. If you look right now, you can make out the body. The head is near the top of the screen. The body, the shoulders, the arms and everything are on the lower part of the screen, about a couple inches down. But you can clearly make out a head with hair right there, shoulders, arms, and then it looks like there's like no waist there, as if this entity is floating right there with no legs. You can see that something is still coming out of that back cell as well. Whatever Marissa did here to entice these spirits to come out, they came out in force, and that bizarre green color is something I've never seen before. Again, never seen before. It looks almost as if these entities had hidden their cells all night and decided to come out at the last minute. what's really crazy is that we had discussed earlier in the night how we were wondering if all the entities would be stuck in their own cells just like they did in life. But this is some insane video.
I can make out their entire body. This is
Like a band.
Whoa! Why did this just turn completely orange all of a sudden?
Communicate. We said we're going to communicate. And I just can't stop.
That's what we were trying to tell you, is that the screen, listen, if you're not familiar with the FLIR thermal imaging camera, how to use it and everything, it's why we don't show it a lot unless something apparent happens. The screen was yellow and orange, like completely yellow and orange, and it turned bright purple, which is freezing cold. It's like a significant bright orange and purple is like 70, 80 degrees. And for it to turn that greenish, like dark purple color, that's like 50 degrees. So for temperature to plummet like 20 degrees in the shape of human beings, and at the end you could see a figure on the right-hand side with like I don't know, like shoulder-length hair, that's what was really impressive. And that's why I wanted to show that stuff tonight. Again, from this location, I have mountains of the usual evidence that I show of all the devices going off, of us communicating. I just wanted to do something a little bit different tonight because I saw something different that I hadn't seen before. And when you slow these things down in slow motion, which I can do at home, but don't have time to do here on the show the whole time in freeze frame, you can see faces, stuff like that, complete bodies. If I took this video of my kitchen with the same FLIR thermal camera to help everybody understand what's going on. Now, my kitchen was about 10 degrees warmer on this day than was the prison, which was probably around like 72 degrees. The prison was closer to that orange color. The yellowish is obviously closer to 80 degrees. You can see right here I'm showing my faucet, which is a little bit cooler. In a second, my daughter Julia is going to open up that freezer, and you're going to see what that does to the temperature. Unfortunately, the temperature gauge with the arrow in the middle was not on that night. As she opens the fridge, you can see instantly that inside the refrigerator we have about 50 something degrees, and it is a purple, a light purple on the door, which is not as cold, and the interior of the refrigerator is a dark purple and even a little bit greenish. Now, as she opens up the freezer, you can see that it is extremely dark purple, and the green donates 30 something degrees, which is the coldest point in the freezer. 40 degrees is the dark purple, and the lighter areas on the door around 50 degrees are the light purple. So when you see these colors in the video of Burlington Prison, you can understand what's going on. You're going to now see how drastic it looks on the FLIR camera when it goes from room temperature to refrigerator temperature on that device. Now in this part, a mere 6 minutes later, you can see how drastically the temperature has changed in that area. It looks like my refrigerator looked like, which was a 20 to 30 degree drop in temperature. Now watch as the temperature goes from refrigerator to freezer temperature, and if you notice, everything in this picture is moving around. The boxes of food in my freezer did not move around like the shapes in this video are. Now it's time for what you've all been waiting for, the slow motion replay of the video that we showed on last Saturday's Wickedly Haunted, the FLIR thermal imaging content from Burlington County Prison. Watch this video with an open mind. I think we can all agree that it's weird. Check out what you think you see on it, and I hope you enjoy the video because it is one of the most bizarre things we have ever captured on the FLIR thermal imaging camera. We'll see you soon for another episode of Wickedly Haunted on the New Bedford Guide Facebook page. You are now going to see a bunch of screenshots from the video that I picked out where I thought some of the most obvious shapes were. So the laser grid that I used, Shane, that was just the GS1 laser grid. I did order the GS2 a couple days ago, though, and that does some really crazy stuff. So certainly an upgrade on it. And the dark purples, he said, were crazy. You can definitely see shapes there.
You can you can see the eyes. You can actually see the eyes. If you really, really pay attention to it, watch it. You can see they're blinking. So you're not going to see your body because they're very, very close. They're very close to me. You're going to actually see heads, maybe like the shoulders. They were so close to me. Like they were probably standing like.
Well, there's at one point
probably like the distance between me and you. So like what you'd be able to see would just be like the top torso and the head. So you're not going to see a full body.
That's what I mentioned though at the very end. I'm sorry. I muted the TV so it wouldn't be on, so you wouldn't hear like a double voice of us talking and the TV on. But I actually mentioned that because there's at one point where you can see the person with the shoulder length hair and they have no legs.
Yeah, no, I never even saw their legs. So I can only see like they were right in front of me.
There's another comment. He says, William says, where was that video taken? We drove to Mount Holly, New Jersey. It's about 5 hours away. And we had this entire like 200-year-old prison to ourselves. The place was built originally for 40 prisoners. And most of the time it had well over 100, like double, triple. And let me tell you something, the cells were tiny. The place, isn't the hugest place. I can't imagine 150 people being jammed in there together.
No.
I mean, it's so old that the cells have fireplaces in them.
Yes.
So I guess they were lucky. I mean, but why would you get the prisoners fireplaces?
Yeah,
Wouldn't you be afraid they would throw fire at you?
What do you mean? Wouldn't you be afraid to just throw themselves in the fire?
Well, the death row dungeon cell did not have a fireplace, though. There was a gallows out behind there. You'll see that next week.
Yeah.
And they hung quite a few people there. Apparently, the sheriff was not very good at hanging people. And you're supposed to have it done right. You will break the prisoner's neck and they will die instantly. Well, he never did that once. And all his prisoners strangled to death. And it takes like 10, 15 minutes. of
So
just
they
dangling
sit
there.
like hanging.
It's horrific.
And
Horrific.
for many people to see.
All right. So the next comment. Go ahead. You want to read it? It says, "I see the purple. I can't say it looks like a person. Definitely heard the high EVP though. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I'm telling you, Kendra, when the replay goes up, play it in slow motion, freeze frame it in certain spots. You'll see what we're talking about. I wouldn't put it up there if I didn't think it was paranormal and I didn't see figures there being able to play it in slow motion and everything. I didn't think there would be as much of a lashback about it, but I just wanted to show something different because I saw something different, something that I believe is paranormal. When you point the FLIR thermal camera down a hallway, a cell block, and all night, and I have hours of this video, and it's just orange and red and yellow the whole time. And then all of a sudden you see purple coming out of areas where the cells are and forming into things. And then the whole entire area in front of Marissa turns purple. So, but again, play it in slow motion and freeze frame it. It'll get a little bit freaky. What does it say?
Go to Mike Resendiz.
Oh, yeah. I like his comment. He said, you should take the non-believers to a haunting. Maybe they'll see with their own eyes. I believe in ghosts and in the paranormal. Absolutely.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, everybody is
Appreciate
always,
the comment.
any non-believers were always welcome to come on an investigation with us. Matter of fact, this house is haunted.
Yeah, we don't investigate in here anymore because we already got the answers. And unfortunately, we cannot cleanse our own home because it's a large apartment. There's other apartments, so the ghosts just leave, go to other apartments, and then come back after the cleansing done. So there's another question. Shane said, so romantic to have a fireplace in your cell. Just you
in your prison boo.
Yeah. Here's a comment from Noel. It says, I saw and heard all of it. What does it say?
I saw and heard all of it, but I have to run. Honestly, laugh out loud. Love you guys sharing and explaining it all. Thanks so much,
Thank you,
Noel. We really appreciate it.
We appreciate it. And again, ask all the questions you want if you're not sure about something, or listen, I didn't see quite that. I did see what you were talking about with the color changes, all that. But the swearing, we don't need it. We don't need it. I'm happy to talk about it. I'll talk about the paranormal all night. Marissa knows that. We have lots of friends in the paranormal field that I will talk to all night. I'll message back and forth with folks like Shane, other people I know. And, I get kind of obsessed with it, and it's cool. But, I don't just throw anything up there. And I certainly don't, put anything up there that I do not believe is truly paranormal. I don't. I don't. Marissa's less skeptical than I am. And we get into arguments sometimes over it because if I don't think that you can see it like that on TV, I won't put it up there. And I try to do lots of replays and slow things down. Unfortunately, because Marissa and I...
We had to rush the show for sure.
I had to rush the show, because we were trying to learn the StreamYard, which is what this is cast over or streamed over. And we spent the whole week practicing so that we could bring you folks a show at a later time. And, unfortunately, I don't have as many video clips for you. But next week, I promise, tons of video clips. We're trying to figure out a good time and day for the show, either Friday or Saturday. So please put in the comments if you'd rather have us on Friday or Saturday, 8, 9 o'clock, what time you would prefer, and we'll take it all into account, and we'll put it on whatever the group consensus is. We'll let you folks decide when we should be on. We know that people like the paranormal and normally late owls. So thank you so much for watching this week. We appreciate it. Thank you for all the questions and comments. A lot of them, 95% of them were awesome and positive. Two were not. It happens. It happens.
I love all the questions and comments.
Happens a lot. What's that? Shimmer and shine. Happens a lot, actually.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend from our family to yours. Julia, come wave goodbye. This is our daughter. Julia, wave goodbye. Have a good night. Thank you so much for watching.